Hello everybody, today we're going to be talking about mutations. I hope you enjoy. What is a mutation? A mutation is when there is a slight chance for the baby of two organisms to not have the same exact genes as the parent or parents, because its DNA has been changed very slightly or a lot using a mutation. These mutations are random and can result in negative traits, positive traits, or even neutral traits. So for example, if you have a father beetle and a mother beetle and they breed, they might mutate. And because of that, the son or daughter of the beetles can actually be orange, even though none of the beetles ever was orange. This is because of a mutation that most likely happened in the beetle's DNA. And there are different types of mutations as well. There are point mutations, which is when a nitrogenous base in the DNA was replaced by another different nitrogenous base. This only really affects one codon or one piece of an mRNA, which helps create proteins. And proteins are what makes the melanin in your hair and decides your hair color and all of that other stuff. And because of that, point mutations don't really do that much, except for like some small things. But they can also, if placed really correctly, they can also have devastating impacts. Frameshift mutations, on the other hand, can do lots of changes because you're adding / removing mutations, and because of that, you can shift the whole frame for one amino acid back by one. Or then what will happen is the protein itself will actually change, because since there's so many different types of proteins, even one change of an amino acid can change what the protein does altogether. And because of that, frameshift mutations, since they affect almost all of the amino acids, they are super changing. And these are usually mutations that are negative and stuff like that. But sometimes they can be positive and they can actually help an organism. And then there are silent mutations. Silent mutations are just really boring mutations. They just change the DNA, but in reality, nothing really happened because the phenotype of the beetle doesn't really been affected that much. And the beetle can just go on living like it's just a normal beetle. There's just no difference. These mutations can also happen to any kind of organism that has DNA. It can happen to bacteria, animals, plants, even fungi. It can even happen to non-living viruses, because these viruses also have DNA. And because of that, these viruses can have different strands, such as the flu or even the coronavirus. And even bacteria. Bacteria, because of mutations, actually have becoming resistant to antibiotics. And because of that, it's becoming really deadly for us. And even there are different types of flu viruses and all of that stuff. So even tiny little organisms such as flus and viruses can actually also mutate, just like big animals such as plants and animals. I hope you learned a lot in this episode about mutations, and goodbye. I hope you like and subscribe as well.